Righto, let me see. Anyone there yet? No, not yet. Fucking thing. Back. So I'll tell you what happened. There we go. Yeah, a couple coming back in. The YouTube app said it's a time to take a break. You've been here for a while, and then it cut the stream off. So this is take 4, I think. Trying to get this thing to work tonight. What a pain in the ass. So I've learned a few things about streaming. Make sure you turn all your reminders and warnings off, because I'm just using the phone here. But that's frustrating. Last week, everything was in this mode. Yeah, there you go. The pain in the ass. Everything was in that mode. It took 3 goes to get it to look horizontal so you can see a bit more what's happening. But anyway, we're back. Who was I talking to the other one? T Dave? T something. T. You know how to T in it. Anyway, this thing behind me here. G'day everyone. Thanks for coming back. Just YouTube kicked me out. The app sent me a warning saying maybe you should take a break. And it T-Dave, there he is. That's the one. Yeah, and it basically kicked me out, so I'm back. But yeah, T-Dave asked, it looked with stripes, but many, many moons ago, this car did have stripes on it. It had the gold stripe. Hey, Chandy, what's going on? Mate, it's all happening in Adelaide. Bloody all the footies over there. Yeah, it had gold stripes on it. And I reversed into stuff. I'll show you because we've got a phone here. Don't worry about the installation. So along the side of this vehicle, we did have the gold stripe, not too dissimilar to the gold GT stripe. And I broke my fuel pump. When I say broke, my fuel pump died. And I got a mate's old man to help me jerry rig one up in the engine bay to get me home. And I backed it into my old man's place because I knew we'd have to look at the, have the bonnet up and change the fuel pump. And in doing so, I grazed the side of his garage. So I've got this little kiss mark here, but and luckily his garage is a wood. So I grazed that and I took out the GS stripe that ran along here. So this did have, gold GS stripes. This was before I had these wheels on it. And I bought a replacement gold GS stripe, which I never put on because I like the clean look. And then once I put the wheels on, I don't think gold would look good with those silver wheels. I reckon it'd look a bit shit. So at some point, I would like to put maybe a silver GS stripe on or a black one. But getting a stripe on is the least of my worries at the moment. I just want to get the fucking thing running again. So here we are. Hang on. Chandy said something. What'd you say, Chandy? Yeah, nice. It would be a pretty good time to be out and about. It's like Grand Prix week, Chandy, in Melbourne. There's something always happening in Melbourne, mate. I suppose not much happens in Adelaide. In Adelaide, no, I can't say that. Adelaide's nice. Yeah, I like the idea of gathering, and it's good. Matto, what was my first car? I had a VS Exec. It was an company car. It had 120,000 Ks on it. It was a VS Series 2, so it was a 97. It had the better seats, and it had the nicer garnish along the back than the VS Series 1. It had the better hubcaps. I left it stock, apart from putting on cop tyres. So if you remember back many, many moons ago, Oh, they weren't cop tyres. They were the same the same tyres that cops use. But remember when HSV used to just buy all the cars from Holden, and Holden would ship it with blank panels and blank wheels and stuff to Clayton? When you're bloke, then you're bloke, then you're bloke, then you're bloke. Yep, it was a commie. He could get us access to like the pull-off wheels, which were Bridgestone Turanza 3 something, whatever they were. But they were 225, so nice fat tyres instead of the skinny little shitty RE92s. So I picked up a set of them real cheap, and they were brand new. And I chucked them on, and they looked really cool with the chunky tyres on it. It still handled like a boat, and it overheated on me once. I cracked the radiator on it, and it immobilised the shit itself a couple of times on it. But I sold that. And I went to a VT Series 2 Berliner, a 6-cylinder. I was still on my P plates. That I lowered with the hardest springs known to man, and put some nice Statesman International wheels. Not the international wheels that everyone thinks of, the flat dish ones. No, these were dual spokes. So look up WH Series 2 Statesman International wheels. They look really, really good. I've got a picture of that car on my Instagram and the Facebook page. If you want to look at the Meatball Garage Instagram or Facebook page, check it out. There should be links in the description. Then I went from that to... what did I have after that? I had the VE. Before the VE, my old man, so I was going to, because I was living with the old man, he had a VZ R8, and he had that at about the time I got off my P's. So what do you reckon I did? That thing with the fuel card, and it was manual, and it had a sunroof. Actually, that's a sad story. This was a beautiful car, this VZ R8. So red, manual, sunroof, leather, big brakes, all the fruit. It got to the end of its lease, and I was going to buy it off its lease, off my old man's of his company lease. But before I could buy it, it started making a ticking noise. Tick, 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 tick. And I wasn't going to buy a car with a ticking noise, even if it was cheap, like it was 20-something thousand bucks. Had 100,000 Ks on it. So on the company dime, I got him to said, you should go get it serviced and get them to look at it. So I dropped it off at Holden dealer. They said we had to call the lease company to get permission to pull the car engine apart. Pulled it apart, and it spun a bearing. That one, Matto. The VZ R8. So yeah, it had a spun bearing. Metal shape, like the cam was rat shit. The crank needed to be polished. I don't know how bad the balls were, but yeah, the guys said, mate, there's metal all through this engine. It's rat shit, needs a full rebuild. At the time, if I would have known how much they would have been worth, I would have said, yeah, rebuild it, or sell me the car without the motor, and I'll put a crate LS3 into it, because yeah, I love that shape. Because yeah, like when I think COVID hit, they started going for 50, 60, 70,000 bucks. And I just really loved the manual V8. That's what I really missed about that thing. But it was a shit box. Hang on. Yeah, so Matt, I regret getting rid of that one. That car did about 3 water pumps. It overheated twice. The clutch was rat shit. The traction control did this weird, funny thing. What else did it do? The front spoiler kept falling off. It leaked power steering fluid the first day it came home. It was a brand new car back in 2004. Pissed power steering fluid everywhere. The ventilation system was fucked on it. There was all sorts of things that were wrong with it. But when you put your foot down, you forgot all about those things, because it was just... The LS2s had so much more torque than the LS1s down low. It just was such a nice car to drive. And I'll shut up about that one. Do I like the Fairlane LTD or Stato? What do I like better? I reckon it depends on the year and the era. So I'm just going to... You can have a look here down for a second. Change the scenery. Look at all the shit that's in here. In general, as a general rule, Miami boys, I liked older Fords and newer Holdens. So I really liked XWs, XYs, XAs, XBs, XCs, etc. In the 80s, I'm not entirely sold on either, to be honest. So I grew up with XFs at a ZL. The old man had an XF Fairmont gear and a ZL Fairlane Sportsman with the snowflakes and a sunroof. But then we went to Commodores in the 90s, and I drove Commodores as my first cars. Mates drove Fords, and look, there was nothing wrong with them, but I just like, I don't know, I felt like Commodores drove better, and I thought they were a bit cooler. That's just my opinion. Like when you put a set of wheels and stuff on a VT compared to like a EF, I just reckon they looked a lot classier. When it comes to statos and LTDs, etc., I liked the, so when I was looking at the VE, I was looking at a WH, no, what's the same model? WM Caprice, because I thought they were pretty cool for the same money as I was looking at the VE for, the VE Calais V. I don't mind them. I reckon I like the NCs more than I like the VN, what are they called? VQ Calais, VQ Caprices. I like that shape of Fairlane, but I'd probably go a VP Calais and a VN Calais over an EB or an EA Fairmont gear. Going in the 80s, I don't think there was much, like I like the WBs. I nearly bought a WB Magnum once, if you know what a Magnum is. That is a, come back up here. That is a Brock enhanced, HDT enhanced WB Statesman. There was a handful made, and there was one down at Shannon's in like 2005 for $8 grand. $8 grand it was. And I went for 13, I think. Yeah, it went cheap, went real cheap. And that was a very, very nice car. So I didn't mind WBs, and I've actually got from a mate's. I'll get to your question in a second, Rusty. One of my mates from high school had a WB Pano, and before it died, or he gave it away, he gave me the radial tune suspension badge, and that badge lives in a centre stack of my E63. So people get in and go, "The fuck's this?" I tell them, "Mate, it's wide handle, so it's got radial tune suspension." So, like the amount of effort that went to that gag, no one gets it, but when they get it, oh, it goes off good. Maybe you got an XCZ, yeah, nice. ZH, I like them. I call them the Uncle Buck Fairlanes because it reminds me of the car that Uncle Buck drove. They're cool. Rusty here, what thermostat you're running? My explosive runs hot all the time, mate. Rusty, would you believe my next video coming out is all about cooling issues and trying to like troubleshoot them. I run, and this is the last video. I think the last video I put out was a Robert Shaw copy. It's called a T Meyer Track Boss one. It's a 160, and it's the proper one for a Cleveland. And I'll actually show you because I got one over here. Hang on. Then I'll put all the bloody things. They're over here, I think. I've got shit everywhere. Where do I put my thermostats? Help me look, will you? Come in and help me look. But I think if you're not running a Cleveland thermostat, that is the first thing I'd do would be go and get yourself a Cleveland thermostat. That's the Commodore one I kept just for an example. Here we go. See, I knew there'd be somewhere. Right. That's your Windsor one. Now, this one, funnily enough, came out of that car, or that block anyway. So it's pretty funny when this came out of this, because, yeah, that's a Windsor thermostat in the Cleveland, and it was probably in there since the factory. What you need to do is get yourself one of those Track Bosch ones, or this is a Trident. Bingo. This is a Tridon TT2023170. It is a Cleveland one, and you can tell it's a Cleveland one because it's got that little button or hat on it. That bit there. And that seals off. I'll explain all this in my other video. But this is a live version. That blocks off this bypass bit here. If you don't have that, what could happen is water just circulates through your block, and if that bypass isn't blocked off, not forcing water through to your radiator. It's just allowing water to circulate through the block. If you get one that's got that hat on it, make sure you've got this restrictor type plate in there. You can see that thing that says top on it, the brass plate. If that's in there, you should be running one of those. That would be number one fix. Number two, when was the last time you had your radiator cleaned out? Because these things just... Yeah, come and have a look at this. Here, I'll show you this too. Come on, come on. We're over here. We're all good friends now. Have a look. Can you see in there? Have a look at those water jackets. Look at the shit that's in there. That is going to flow through whatever radiator you've got, dislodge, and clog up your radiator. There you go. Look at the water jacket. Look at the shit that's in there. Our plate's a new rad. So what do you know what thermostat you've got in there now, Rusty? It's actually, do you know if you're running hot? I'm spoiling my next thing, but I'll tell you all about it. But you should look at your gauge. See if you can get a cheaper mechanical gauge if you just got the normal Ford ones in there, because they could be fucked. The other thing is you could have a 6-cylinder sender in your blocks, so the heat range is a lot lower. When I had it just my normal dash in here, 190 was like 3/4 of the way up towards hot. Just open up, didn't have one. So I'll check my thing here. Oh, so you don't have that little plate in there. Maybe you need to put that plate in. I think you either have to have that plate in and run the Clevo thermostat, or you have to have that plate in and then, guys in the States like block it off. That way you don't run the bypass bit. Was it a new build, or is it something you've just bought? Because that's when half this shit happens, when you buy someone else's half-done project, and they've done something or built something 15 years ago, hand it to you, and then you've got to figure out what the hell they've done, and then you ring them up and ask them, and they go, oh, I've got no idea. You got to get the plate. Yeah, there you go. So you got to put a plate in. I reckon that's what you got to do, mate. It's a pain in the ass overheating stuff. Fucking no one likes overheating. Anyway, what am I doing? I was going to blow shit through this thing here. Hang on. Come back here. That's my timing marks, folks. If you want to know what the hell that's going. No worries, Rusty. I hope that works, and I hope that's useful for you, mate. Let's get a bit of this view happening here. Don't mind me. I'm just waiting for the screen to catch up so I can make sure that this is framed right. Yeah, that's not too bad. I don't know what I'd clean in this. I might just try and blow some shit through. Here. Oh, that tasted good. Actually, that's where the yeah, that's not a bad idea. Just blow these out. Because that's where fuel was leaking from last week when I had this thing running. Bloody thing. Or was it this? These are the primary ones. Yeah. Fuel was leaking through here. Like that. I don't know. There's probably a proper way to do this, but this is my way. Use what you've got. Don't get it right. Just get it running. Isn't that what they say? Open it up. What's this? This is your air bleed, isn't it? This thing? Whoa. Yeah, there you go. That's brake clean. That's good for the skin. It is. It's a 4-barrel. This is a Holly Street HP 750 double pump up. Some will say it is too big. Oh, look at all the colourful shit that come out of this. Some will say it's too big for my mild Clevo, but I kid you not. Oh, I had these burning nice and white up until recently. I reckon it was actually too lean, and I've spent the last few weeks, let's call it a couple of months, just trying to get rid of a couple of flat spots. I've gotten rid of all the flat spots. I don't want to ruin it, but it's a combination of jets and power valve, and it drives really good. Before it flooded anyway, it drove really good. It had a 600 or 650 vac sec on it, which is sitting at my mate's place on his shelf. But I took that off before we put the air gap manifold on. This is all about 10 years ago now. But it literally ran... I'll show you some plugs. Come with me. Come with me. Okay. I'll turn you around. Come this way. Come this way. There you go. You can sort of see yourselves on the computer there. This is what my plugs used to look like. Every time I'd change my plugs, they would just come out looking like this. Absolutely like shit. So I did a couple of tuning videos and people sort of made comments, oh, you got to learn how to read plugs. And my comments to them were, what stories to read there? It's rich as shit. You can't, there you go, let's focus. You can't tell your timing marks. You can't tell anything. It's just fucking rich. So I was sick of doing that. And like I was saying earlier to a couple of folks that were on one of the original streams before these things kept getting shut off, is that I was just sick of putting juice in the bloody thing. Yes, it's got a converter and 3.5 gears in it, but it just sank so much juice. And yeah, I couldn't idle anywhere because you'd burn people's eyes out. So yeah, I think it's driving good. I think before it fucked up on a weekend, it was driving just fine. But you probably wouldn't need to dick around this much if you had a smaller Carby. Let's just be honest. This is probably too big for the application. But I'll eventually put more cubes on that. More cubes through it. When that motor eventually gets built, this will be perfect. I'll just have a look at the idle adjustments there as well, whilst I've got it upside down. Not nice sniper kits. Yeah, those. Oh, look. I reckon. Okay, how do I be this way? They're cool. I like technology. I like things that are cool like that. I like the idea of saying I've got fuel injection. But what are they worth? Like $3,000. Plus you've got to put in a bung. Plus you've got to run an electric fuel pump. Plus. Like they don't make. I think power wise they're dead even, or like just a little bit less than a Carby. If I was daily driving something like this, I was some sort of not weird, we'll call them eccentric rich person that wanted to drive a 70s car daily, yeah, I'd do it because I reckon it'd just make life easy because it would start all the time. It wouldn't run like shit in the summer versus the winter. You wouldn't have to rejet or adjust your idle. You wouldn't stall at the end of the street because it's not warm, all that sort of stuff. But like I was saying earlier, like I've only driven this thing 8 times this year. 8 or 9 times this year and 7 last year. And next year probably won't be much at all. So if I'm going to spend $3.5 grand plus the labour, as in the time I should say, to do it, I'd probably rather spend it on something else that would get me some power. I'd probably put that towards the heads and cam for the stroker motor, to be honest. Because I reckon that'll get me more not bang for buck, but what's the right word? More enjoyment. Yeah, that's right. I'd probably have to get. I would too. I'd have to get a better Dizzy. I'd have to get one of those. I couldn't get ice. I want ice in it. I'd have to get. Call it MSD, an MSD Pro billet thing, and make it all sort of work with that. Yeah, yeah. So yeah, Dizzy, fuel pump, O2 sensor. I'd probably have to get the thing wired up because this thing's got shit wiring through it. The grounds are no good. Plus, I got to put that little learning dash somewhere, which I reckon would look out of place. yeah, I like the idea of it, don't get me wrong, but probably maybe not for this car. If I had something a bit different or was a different, had a different goal with a car, yeah, maybe, but yeah, not for like 350 horsepower. Probably not. I know people who have done it and they swear by them, but they're probably, again, how do I put this point? They're probably not too worried about spending the money. My mate spent 4,500 on. So there you go. Yeah, 44.5 grand. So I'd rather put that 4.5 towards a set of heads, and getting my block machined and everything like that to get the stroker in. That would be more fun per dollar, I reckon. You had a tube, 500 XB, Reggie tune like a scary fast in the late 70s. You had an XB as well. I'm gonna have to get this list off you, Matto. All I knew you had an XP Ute. Didn't know about all these other ones. G'day, if you've just joined. Make sure you join in the conversation. Give us a like as well if you like one of these streams. And if you're not subscribed to the channel, do that too, because I'm going to try and give you more stuff this year. And probably go live a few more times as well. So make sure you subscribe. That way you don't miss out on any of this sort of quality entertainment on a Friday night if you're not watching the footy. Are you still there, Chandy? What's going on, mate? Excuse me. I need a screwdriver to adjust my idle. Ooh, that's not too bad. Do I need one? No, I don't. Oh, go on the other way, you idiot. There we go. So one thing, you can't see anything. Oh, it just got me in the background. That's good. It's nice to have you here, mate. Nice to have you and Matto here. What am I doing? Screwdriver. So I'm going to give Chandy a plug, even though this might not be the audience, mate, but Chandy is Adelaide's #1 Khmer food vlogger. Chandy is also probably Adelaide's only Khmer or Cambodian food vlogger. If you ever go to Adelaide and you want to know somewhere you can get a decent feed, check him out. He's been bloody everywhere. He knows what he's talking about. That's interesting. Aha, okay. I'll show you what I'm trying to do. No worries, mate. I'll turn you around so you can get a better look. Again, apologies if you can or can't see. This is the beauty of, it's almost like live television, no scripts. How about that? Do we need a light? Where do I put my light? So, upon this flooding the other weekend, to get it to idle, I had to turn up my idle speed screw over here a lot, which, you know, made it run okay. Well, it got me home basically. Now that the Carby's off and we're going to fix the needle and seat, I'm going to reset it. So you're supposed to set these with just a tiny little square just in there. I don't know if you can see that on the camera. I'm actually covering it. Well done, mate. Good broadcasting. That way I'm not going to foul up my plugs when I put it back on. And it doesn't matter because I'm just going to use these petrol cleaned and wire brushed plugs just to get the thing dialed in again. And then I'll put some new plugs in it once I think it's dialed in. So I'll just screw it in. Go the right way. There we go. I'm looking at the wrong friggin' bank. Idiot. They're my primaries. They're my secondaries. That's fine. I've got a tiny bit of the slot showing on that one. And that has helped clean up my idle a lot. That has helped clean up the vacuum signal quite a bit. Yeah, idle beautifully. So which one do I tweak? Yeah, there you go. Let's get that tiny square there. That'll do. The day before I drove it, what I'd done... Yeah, it's not bad. Yeah. Oh. Let's see what the texture mark is. That's gone. Yeah, okay. So what had happened is I had too much exposed in the secondaries and not enough exposed in the primaries. So it was still idling really, really good. But off idle, I had a really, really tiny stumble, and it only happened, like, it was so intermittent I couldn't catch it on camera. I gave up. So I came home the next day, made this adjustment. It drove mint, and then she flooded. So we went back to square one. You got 2 XF Utes. Yeah. Chandy, I'm just catching up. Oh yeah, nice. Chandy, I completely hear you, mate. I've got to do it in shifts for my stuff. So at the moment, Meatball Garage is getting all the attention, and my Cambodia videos are not. I think I did those that last batch, mate, was about a month and a half ago, from when we went to Phnom Penh for a bit, and then after that we got a Kampot, and I haven't touched any of them. So after I do the next couple of Meatball Garage ones, I'll get back onto the Cambo ones. But we'll probably go live next week because it's Khmer New Year and we're going to do a barbecue. So that'll be interesting because Canal's committed to doing a barbecue, and then she's also committed to going to the temple in Springvale where they do all the party and that the next day, which I'm going to opt out of. Kermy, we still haven't checked that shop down the road. I think they've run out of Kermy, Matto. How do I end up with 2 XWs? Right. So this one here, that's mine. I paid 24 grand for this back in 2014. I thought it was a bit much, but it turns out it was an absolute steal. Complete steal. So this is mine. This one is not mine. This is my old man's. He bought this off my old boss, actually, from 20 years ago. He had the car for about 5 minutes. The joke was always that he would probably sell it. And then when we found out he was going to sell it, he turned around and said, "Beauty, I'll go talk to him." And then 2 days later, he said, "I've bought the GT." So it lived at his place for probably 2 or 3 years until he bought more cars. And then this one had to make way. So I don't know how much longer it's going to be here for. Like, I have not driven it in 2 years, mate. The tyres need air. It has got cobwebs. Can you see the cobwebs? All over the bottom of them. We use it to put our coats on that usually live in the boot of the other cars. That's some insulation for the dash of mine. That's my kids' clothes. But yeah, she's due for a wash. But yeah, he's got a couple, and yeah, this one was the unlucky one. So his shed's full, and this lives here. So at some point, I think he's going to rotate and take this back and leave something else here, which it's okay. I've got the room for it. Plus, it looks cool. Plus, I can take pictures of it and people go, "Whoa, GT!" But yeah, I need to drive it more. He comes and stirs me up saying, "You got to drive it. Just take it for a drive. Just drive it. Drive the thing. Drive it." I'm like, "Well, I can't even drive my car. I get to bloody drive yours." And to be honest, I'd prefer to drive mine because A, it's got more guts. B, it's not a GT. even though the GT is nicer to drive and it is a GT, I can't really go anywhere in it. Like, I wouldn't want to park it anywhere. Yeah, I wouldn't feel comfortable going anywhere in it because it's worth a shitload more than this thing. So there you go. Hang on, I'm catching up on the chat. Yeah, cheers, Chandy. Yeah, we'll see you next week if these what's going to be on. Hey, we're also going to have some visitors in May as well, Chandy. Some other people that you may know from the internets. So we'll go live with them when they're in town. Hint, hint. A couple of Queenslanders, a couple of rowdy Queenslanders. You might know them. Your little homestead, you can't have too many. Oh, I was saying this before with one of the other fellas in the chat, the other streams. I reckon if you have too many, you can't drive them. And there's a point where I think it becomes diminishing. Unless they're all working, then I think you can't have too many. And in my case, they've all got to have kid seats in them. So if it doesn't have a kid seats, it's fucking useless to me. So that thing there, even though it's cool, yeah, I don't want to put a kid seat in it. Even my dad insists, I don't want to drill into anything. Your cousin got a nice blue XGT for free. Bloody hell, apparently. Oh, okay. Is your cousin one of those blokes? A couple of stories. It feels like there's not a lot of trust there between you and your cousin. You've already told you a couple of things before and you've just gone, yeah, mate. No worries. Still, that's pretty good. And a red XW GT, that's a mini tub with a port out 30,000, 357. Here you go. Hey, this is a 357 actually. This has been out 30,000. I keep calling it a 351, but it's cooler to say 357, isn't it? Yeah, nice. Can't have too many XWs. That's a Subaru from a Ford dealer in Chapel Street back in the day. Oh, is that dealer from, hang on, what was it, Matto? Let's go for another walk. The dealer sticker on the, did you see a dealer sticker? Oh, I thought this has got a dealer sticker on. I thought maybe you saw the dealer sticker, but obviously not. It does have one, doesn't it? Yeah, it does. Oh, I'm not going to move all this shit. It'll take me 20 years. What deal are you talking about, Matto? They're bloody everywhere. From the guard. Oh, the Subaru stickers on. I got, nah, they're on all the bloody GTs. Unless it's, yeah, all of them have got them. Well, all this shape anyway have got them if it was a GT. Or if you've got the right sticker pack, you could probably do it. We've got 11 on. All right, look, I need to make some decisions now, folks. We've got to install everything back together. I need to work out how this thing goes back on. I never take note of it. And I've got to work out if I'm going to put in my original, where did it go? My original needle and seat, which maybe I won't because I think maybe the, I reckon a bit of gaskets come off. So maybe I won't put that original needle and seat back in and I'll put this one, which I've discovered isn't a Holly one. Have a look at the difference. They've already done this before, but that was 3 streams ago. But look at that. The bum of it, this is a thicker bum. That's a small little bum. The height of the window is a little bit different, I think. Oh, the window down here, sorry. You hold them even. One's a little bit lower than the other. But I'm more inclined to put the new part in, even though it looks a bit different than the old part, which may or may not be the thing that failed. So let's do that. Let's chuck this bastard back together. G'day, if you've just joined. Black stripes in your GT. Yeah, black looks good. Coffee Ford. I am going to have to... Have I got a photo of this thing somewhere? Nah, they're all on the phone. And if I touch the phone, it's going to fucking break. So we'll leave it. The late 60s, I used to Windows. Oh, I used to Windows shop. Ah, righto. Yeah, nice one, Matto. Nice one. What do you want to see? Do you want to see what I'm doing? You probably want to see what I'm doing rather than just look at me here. Let's do that. Let's get you a bit more perspective. I'll put you back a bit. G'day SMP, how are you, mate? Oh, thank you. Cheers for that. It's actually interesting that unless you're a YouTube person, i.e. you're in it, the amount of people that don't have an account yet or subscribe to stuff, I found that quite amusing. Let's just extend it all its way, yeah. Caesar skin. Yeah, nice. All right. If anyone knows what they're doing here, tell me. But I reckon this is cleaned enough. I've blown out everything. I've blown out the air bleed holes. The inside here looks to be okay. There's no pressure in that. It's just brake clean. In here looks all right. All of my... Actually, let's just give the throttle blades a wipe. Where'd my other thing go? Here it is. Give these throttle blades a once over and a quick wipe. We'll start reassembling. Yeah, even look at the crap that's come off the throttle blades. Just a bit of shit that's come off them. Unreal. Okay. And my idle looks... That's my secondaries, yeah? Yep. My primaries look okay. That's the secondaries. It's tiny on the secondaries. Barely see them. But it was good last time. I don't need to touch them. I've got to keep reminding myself it ran good for 10 minutes before it didn't run good. I'm still fucking around. Yeah, I am still fucking around. But at least I'm fucking around getting some watch time. And I've been engaging with everyone that's watched. It's taken me 3 goes to get this stream working. Apparently, I've set my app to it's a trap for young players. And Chandy, if you ever stream, mate, this is what broke on my first couple of streams. I've got YouTube set to like give me a reminder if I've been on it for too long, and it sent me a reminder saying, "Is it time for a break?" at 1 hour. So my first stream died in the ass, but that's okay. You're all back. Yes. Oh, has it seen the skid? I've done a couple of skids in it. Nothing spectacular. It's got a 9-inch, and yes, it's an LSD. It's got 3.5 gears in it. It used to light up the 14s on it really good, really easy, but not so much the 17s. But yeah, still goes good. Still goes good. And yeah, you definitely need a 9-inch with them. You could just throw whatever you want at it, and it'll handle it. What else we got to do? Put our gaskets back on. I can't remember which way they all went. That's okay. We'll figure it out. There's still a bit of metal on this, actually. Okay. Got 411s. Bloody hell. You don't want to spend too much time on the highway on those things. They rev at about 3,500, 3,600, I think. Doing 100. Still should be nice and snappy around town. This was, so I originally had 275s in the arse of this. It was sold to me with 3.5s. And when I bought the car, like I've got 10 years worth of more knowledge that I have now than when I bought the car. So when I got it, I thought it drove okay. but the speedo was a little bit out, so I bought the 3.5 speedo gear from the GT shop, I think, or no, GT Ford Performance. Got home, pulled the speedo gear out, put the 3.5 one in, and it was even more out, way more out. And I've gone, hang on, something's up, shit creek here. Then worked out how to measure the gear ratio, and lo and behold, it had two 275s in it. Was not happy. So then, yeah, got the set of 3.5s, and my gosh, did it just wake up. Proper wake up. What am I trying to do? That doesn't go like that, does it? It goes on the other side. So I've got no idea what I'm doing. You should do ones, Chandy. They're a piece of piss on the phone, mate. And it saves you editing it. Not that I'm saying I'm lazy and everyone deserves a lazy cop-out. But if you were going to some big event and you thought this is going to be too much to cover, you should just stream it. And then you can come and watch the stream. But you will have to be comfortable commentating out and about. That's the only thing. Getting your beans. I've got the standard shifter in this thing. I don't know if a B&M shifter would be... Like, I haven't raced it, and I don't plan on racing it anytime soon. Like, the goal is just to get the bloody thing running and cruising so I can turn the key and just drive it. Then maybe once I've got that sorted and I could just turn the key and drive it, I might race it just to see what it does. But yeah, I've always found that I've got no need for a shifter. Yeah, it's just got the T-bar in it. And it's got a really good neutral start switch in it. Because yeah, if it's 1 millimetre out of park, which can fall out of park, it will, she won't start. Right, I'm happy with that. Nah, old school's not, like, I think you need a balance. I like old school, but I also like technology. It all depends on the application and what you're trying to achieve. So, case in point, the amount of time I've dicked around with this carburetor, yes, I could have just put EFI on, spent the money, and job done. But I would have learnt nothing. I actually want to be able to, I don't know, I think there's something in learning about how they used to do things without AFR gauges. Like pulling a plug apart and reading and going, this thing's pig rich. How does it drive? How does it feel? Because I just think it's a bit of a lost art. And I want to be able to say that I've tuned it myself as well. Just to say, no, I don't know. It feels like it's got my personality in it, rather than I've just given it to someone, got the car back and going, ooh, wow. Like I was saying before, like if you don't have a lot of time to spend on your car, when you do get it right and it is driving the way you want it to and everything's come together, it just, I don't know, feels more rewarding. So, yeah, old school is king if you don't want to treat the car as a hobby. But each to their own. Look at all that shit. Look at it all. The same thing. Okay, that's there, that's there. Which way do these go? Like that. Or was it on that one? It doesn't matter, but I'd just like to know which one was on which. I don't think it matters. can go there. You can go there like that. All right. This bit. This bit. Wet. There is a name for this. I think it's a baffle. But you can't see what I'm doing. Yeah. Fuck yeah. You sure I go like that? It goes underneath the gasket from memory. I think that's right. Do you guys know? Would I ever put new look wheels on or go for welds? Well, the wheels I've got on here are, well, they're show wheel streeters. They're like the Option 54 wheels. I reckon that's right. Just give me a sec. I need to check if that's on the right way. So just over here, I'll treat you like I treat my little one. If you can see me, you know everything's all right. To do this, I need to go back to an older video and actually look at my old stuff up. But yeah, they look all right because they're an option. They're the Option 54 style, but in a 17, and they don't look that out of place. Like, I don't like 20s or 22-inch wheels. I don't like the big. Actually, I don't even like 19s on them. I just think they look too out of place. The what are they? The 5-spokes that are on the GTs. You know the ones. Globes. You can get the 19-inch globes now. Oh, I just reckon they should make them in an 18 or a 17. I reckon they just look better. Same with all the FR, like you get the 20-inch FRs or the 20-inch HDT wheels and all that sort of stuff. Yeah, just too big for mine, too big. I like a little bit of rubber. But yeah, I toyed with like certain wheels. I'll never put like not Pro Stars, what do you call them? Convo Pros or anything like that. Because again, they're expensive as shit. They're really bloody expensive. And I'd rather spend that money on something else and get a better bang for buck. Okay, here's my clip from about a year ago, and I'm just looking. Here you go. You're talking to me whilst I'm looking at myself. Look at myself in an old video to see which way that baffle goes. So if that's like that, that looks about right. Yeah, come on, get to your point. So, yeah, perfect. So it's face down that way. This is why documenting your own things are good. You can go back, you can refer. Just get back in here so I can see the chat. You got Convo Pros. It must be a bloody decent GT. What colour is your GT? Yeah, they're big dollars, aren't they, mate? I also like controversial. I like 12 slots more than 5 slots. Controversial opinion. One that's not shared by many, but yeah, I'm all about the 12 slots. Let's just rest these in here. Oh, they're going to just be loose anyway until we put the bowls on. You stay there. Okay. True blue. Yeah, that's nice. True blue. and silver combos. Yeah, that'll look nice and tough. That goes this side. One last look in here. Is there any more shit? I might just give it a blowout with compressed air. Come over here to the compressor. I think there's enough air in it to give them a blowout without turning it on. And like I said, folks, I'm not... you shit of a thing. Oh, you ripped the bloody... Holy knackers. Yeah, like I said, these things leaked so much last time that I had them off that they don't leak now, and therefore I'm not taking them off at any cost. So I think there's enough pressure in here. Yeah, beauty. I reckon we should be good now. Start reassembly. Oh no. Actually, you know what we'll do? We'll do the sight glasses. Just sit there and relax. You sit there and relax. Do screwdriver. S&P. Oh, nice. I've got an alloy S&P with the 12 slotters. Thank you. I thought it was going to be alone there. I don't know why. I think anything that was XY, so the 5 slots are an XY thing, and they're also a Mustang thing. Anything that was XY related seemed to be the things that people liked. Bloody hell, it's the wrong screwdriver for the job. Whereas XWs just flew under the radar. But I reckon they look better too. They've got a better looking a gasket on that. I thought they had gaskets, these bloody things. Hey, maybe not. It's just brass. Yeah, I thought XWs had better looking taillights. I thought the grills were better looking. Yeah, in general, I just thought they did have a gasket. So where the frick has that gone then? I've lost a bloody... No wonder it was pissing out fuel. Ah, you friggin' shit. I don't know if that's ever had one. Oh, there you go. Laney boys in 12 Fairmont. Yeah, nice. Hang on. What 12 slots? Are they the original style ones like I've got on the GT? Or wild ones have got the same? My Fairmont ones? Or are they the chromies, the 1980s spec chrome versions? Yeah, the 5 slot. What do they call them? The kidney wheel? Kidney wheel. Like the kidney shape. I can't believe that I've run that sight bowl screw for probably years without a gasket on it. Because I tried these. I first bought the Carby. And for whatever reason, they broke. They sort of snapped. I still don't know why they snapped. Maybe I over-tightened them. So yeah, when I put the original one back on, I've obviously put it on without a bloody gasket on. There you go. Yep, nah, I'm with you there. XW's tougher. Ah, you've got chrome ones. Okay, Rusty's little Homestead, what colour is the XY that you've got those chrome 12 slots on? These are the important questions, mate. 12 slots on a Reg. Yes! Hey, spot on. That was an XY though, wasn't it? Running on MTGT? It was an XY and it was auto. And he was doing quarter miles in like 14.2. Oh, yes. Okay. Orange. Chrome with orange. That's a very 90s looking done up sort of XW then, I reckon. 14 by 6s, yeah. Yeah, that's not it. I don't like the fats. I don't like the chrome ones when they're on the fat wheels. Tell me you haven't got what they call radial TAs or something like that with the white painting on there. White lettering. Yeah, I mind that, Rusty. That was a good piece of Australiana, I reckon. Running on empty. Okay. We're going to put in a new float rather than an old float. I've made a decision. If you were here earlier on, which I know a lot of you weren't, there was a piece of gasket that came out of the float bowl, which looked like it came off the needle and seat gasket. So we're going to put a new one in, even though this isn't a Holly part. We've established that this one here with H on it, you can't see that. This one here doesn't have H on it and it's a little bit different, but it's new. And that's the bit that I'm concerned about. I'm going to give this a bit of a clean out. Actually, have I got some paper somewhere? Just got to go get a paper towel from over there. It's a 1980s time capsule. Nah, you're right. What's the line? What's your name? Piss off. All right, piss off. Here's the deal. What was the mechanic's name? And then what's his name? Foxy said, your mechanic's a spag. Like that's almost like the polite racism towards the Italians. Just funny. I grew up in the 90s as an Italian. And always wondered how bad it would have been way back when. There's no shit in there. The chase is on. No, I haven't. But what cars are in it? I reckon I've seen clips of another Aussie movie with another like XWXY in there. I'm pretty sure it might have been it. Chandy, you said something that's gone, mate. The Ferris amp. Yeah, that's pretty cool, mate. Sounds like a bit of a time capsule. That car as well. All right, new needle and seats going in. Oh, I was gonna hang on. I've actually got my GoPro here. And I was going to film something for the purposes of an actual YouTube video. But we've been talking shit for a long time. So bear with me a moment. I might just put this on time-lapse. That way we can time-lapse it. How do I do that? Time-lapse. I'll just set it up. Alright. This has got to be riveting. That'll do. Because I will make a video about when this car failed me. just don't know what it'll be yet. So I've got to capture some footage for it. Oh yeah, Chandy, mate. It was a different time. Oh yeah, the thing works. Needle and yeah, okay, I see how it all works. Righto. Yeah, my old man's got some stories. Your parents have probably got some stories as well about what they used to get up to back in the day. Shenanigans and whatnot. They're all moral and upstanding citizens these days. Not back then. Yeah, Chad, your parents came here, didn't they? They were 70s or 80s, I think. Yeah, it's very, very different today. Hang on, you've got a red XY GT and a blue XY GT and a red I think it's XB. Oh, really? So is this a modern movie? When I say modern, I mean like one that's made in the last 20 years or something, not like these 70s and 80s ones that we're talking about. What's it called? The Chase Is On. Where was it filmed? Was it a Melbourne movie or is it a Sydney one? I'll have to Google it. You know what the worst part is? That these things are going to be so hard to find online because of their relative nicheness. Right, I'm going to put new gaskets on as well. You go there. Do you know, I bought two of them. I bought another spare one of these. And the picture just had the friggin' needle and seat. So I bought extra gaskets, even though they're like 8 cents or whatnot. And of course, they come with friggin' gaskets. Oh, there's companies that... I've already put one on there. You're an idiot. There's companies that do really, really well when they sort of list their parts and whatnot, and there's other ones that are really shit. This one is sort of middle of the road, and I've had reasonable success so far, except for the fact that these are not Holly bits. So that is going to be in consideration. Okay, that's the old gasket, old thing there. You go like that. This nut goes on like here. I'm going to guess that that's about right, but we'll adjust it in due course. Tighten that back up. And then you needle and say, I've just realised I didn't show you any of that. Because I'm talking to you here. The new needle and seat's on here. There, this one here. So we're on. We're in, and if you have a look inside, let's actually see if you can see inside. Chandy, if you're watching this, mate, you're going to learn a bit about cars. Okay, let's just point that down like this. So you can see that thing in there. Can you see it? Maybe you can't. Here you go, yep. When the float goes up like that, it pushes this needle up like that and blocks off the fuel coming in to the carby. So when it floats at the right level, it'll basically regulate how much fuel's in here, and this fuel fills into the carby. What happened last week was that something was stuck in the needle, so it was stuck open, which meant that there was a free-for-all amount of fuel pissing into the carby. Hence it flooded. Hence we're here doing this. But we're also doing other things, aren't we? We're talking about quintessential Australian vehicular movies. So we're all learning something. Oh, this is bloody magnificent. Oh, fuck yeah. So, filmed in Vic. 20 or 30 minute movie. Okay. I'll have to Google it. 92. So were you a Kiwi? Like, strictly speaking, Chandy, cultural background aside, You would have had a Kiwi passport before an Australian passport. Is that right? Oh. I had a gutful and came here in the early 90s. There you go. The culture, ladies and gentlemen, as well as some vehicle repairs tonight. Okay. Let's screw this thing back together. Oh, mate, you're doing everything. Mate, what's the scores? Tell me that Essendon are getting pumped. Please. That would make my night. The boys I grew up... Oh, see, the comments disappear on the phone. So I've got to keep going over here. Fair dinkum. What was that? If you know about your early Falcon 6-cylinder stuff. Was it the Dick Johnson Grand Prix? The blue one? That was XE, I think, from memory. Oh, Porter's killing Essendon. Oh. Sorry, Bombers fans. That's fantastic. Yeah, the XE, what were they called? XE Grand Prix, the Dick Johnson Grand Prix. I'm pretty sure that's what they were. But there was a few, oh, that's a proper pounding. There was a few turbo Falcons back in the 80s and 90s, because they went from, what, 82 to 91 or 92 without a V8, so there's a couple of companies out there that did them. But that's pretty cool. If they were the first ones doing it, it must have cost a fortune back then as well, because there would have been bugger all market for it. Yeah, pretty brave of them to give it a crack. Yeah, they are tough, yeah. One of the guys I used to work with bought one. Let's just say it was a bit rough. I had to follow him to a workshop one day and give him a lift back to work. And let's just say it didn't matter if I lost him, because all I had to do was follow the cloud of blue smoke. This thing was fucked. Yeah, when we got back in my car, you do that with the wipers. It's just all over it. Also got an XWB Fairmont gear. Jeez. Mate, those things are worth drug money. I never understood why those things were worth drug money, but I think I do now. They're very, very unique. All right, I'm going to show you this so you can just look. Bit of car stuff. Focus you down here. There we go. All right, we're going back together. I'll just put that there as well. There. Get the fuel bottles on. And doing it with the that's what the accelerator pumps out. This one. Come on, this is a bloody fiddly. It should be this fiddly. I need a bolt. No fruit growers with heaps of cash. Nice. Well, I was going to say, you need the to do that sort of development. Yeah, I thought they probably have to have heaps of cash. Gish. And you say that? Another one of your projects, XESP. That is cool. I'm a convert. I thought they were just... was like everything 20 years ago. Who would have thought that certain cars are going to be worth a shitload of money these days? And they were one of them for me. I could never understand them. But there were a lot of people that knew that there was something special before a lot of other people did. Why are you giving me such trouble? Maybe I'll put the bloody secondaries first, because you always come off. Anyway. This shows you my levels of incompetence, folks. Like I was saying earlier, all of my wounds on this car are self-inflicted. Oh, come on. Now I'm starting not like this. Bendy hose, it's getting in the way. It's ruining my evening. Oh, Michael, here he goes. How are you? Welcome back. Ladies and gentlemen, there is a proper video man in the comments in Michael B. Chandy, if you haven't looked at Michael's videos yet, mate, have a look. They are fantastic. Yeah, Michael, what happened was I got this thing dialed. It was dialed in. I can't tell you how dialed in it was. It was bang on. It was driving. I had the best 10-minute drive I've had in the last 6 months in this thing on Saturday, and then it died on the Greensboro bypass. It flooded. A bit of shit got stuck in the needle and seat, and fuel was pissing out the boosters. So I've just taken the Carby apart, put a new needle and seat in, cleaned everything up, and we're now just reassembling it. I thought, because it takes me so long to get a video out these days, I might as well just do it live, and we can just have a chat whilst we're here. Don't know what I should do. Depends what you want, Miami boys. What do you want for that particular car? This goes back to what we were talking about earlier, in that it's all like everything you have should have a plan. So like my plan for this was never to go EFI. I wanted to put a stroker in it, and it was just going to be a cool cruiser. But if I wanted to build it and make it a bit of a, you know, something really cool, I could put a TKO 6-speed in it, EFI it. I'd put an LS in it. I don't care what people say. If I could get an LS, get something like that for not $1 million, I reckon that'd be cool. Because again, not a lot of people do it. I don't, that looked like James Mackey did it with his drift car. There's a few others out there. There's a green XW with an LS. Actually, not too dissimilar to the line that was on Street Machine. In Street Machine a few years ago. My mate Dave did the article on that. Dave is on Instagram and Facebook as Garage of Awesome. He writes some cool stories. And is a bit of a wordsmith as well. But yeah, it depends what you want, mate. If you want to do another 10 years ago, everyone was going, oh, another LS swap. Now everyone's going, oh, another bloody Barra swap. But it's up to you. It's what do you want? What do you want the car to be? What personality do you want it to have? That's what I'd say. That would be my focusing question if we were in a workplace. One of those workplaces anyway. Let's get that in there. Worst LS swaps. Not a fan. I'd have one. Look, with a bit of a cam, not even through. That's why it's not. With a bit of a cam and a nice exhaust on it, I'd be happy with an LS in like a VH SLE or oh, that's not going in very nicely. You're fighting a little bit, this one. What are you fighting about? Just go in. Oh, don't be a shit. I'm reluctant to push against the... They should just slide right in and out, these things. I shouldn't have to force them. Where's the gasket gone on that one? Oh, come on. There's one on that one. There's one on that one. There's one there. I've lost a gasket. This is the stuff that you don't see when I make my films, folks, is the... I've got every other... Here, look. Every other friggin' gasket here, apart from the one that I bloody need. No, 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 no. All these things lived in there, unless they've got a double gasket on the fuel bowl already. Ah, let's check for that. Okay, hang on. Things don't happen magically. Hey, we've got a few more people on. How are we, folks? Say g'day if you want to say g'day. We are rebuilding. Yeah, we do. We've got a double gasket. I knew it. I knew it. So that means you going this corner here. You're already on there. Go. See, this is the stuff you learn when you fuck things up 1,000 times. Cheers, Rusty, mate. Thanks for being a part of it, and thanks for keeping the discussion going, and you've kept me sharp whilst we're at it. Hope to see you again on another one of these soon, if we do one. Otherwise, I'll see you in the comments, mate. Thanks for hanging about. Jake Spokes. No, I don't know Jake. He's got a Val with an LS1. It's my favourite one. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'd do a Val. I wouldn't do a Godzilla engine. No. Oh, no, hang on. Wrong Godzilla. Yes, I would do a Godzilla engine. A Ford Godzilla, not the bloody RB, whatever they are. Those things. Yeah, there is an XB. That is not turning. Look at it. I shouldn't have to. That should just go straight. So this is where previous Marc would have just gone the car you and then and done that until the cows came home. But this time I'm far more reluctant to force fuel bowl bolts in if they're not behaving. So you're coming out, and I'm going to see what's going on here. If I have to helicoil this one, fair dinkum. Yeah, that XA, that's the Harrop blower stuff on it. This top one. Goes in fine. What's your problem? You go in fine. You go. So I can do these in by hand. What's the... Oh, I'll tell you what the issue is. I reckon the helicoil's a bit too far in. Yeah, so I have to be dead straight with that one. All right. Okay. Yeah, that one, I can't remember how much power that thing made, but that That was a serious, I'm pretty sure it was 1,000 horsepower or something at the wheels. That was a serious bit of kit. And I had to do a fair bit of work to get the thing to fit the engine bay too, from memory. But the car's grouse. Chased on wheels. Oh, how are you going to send us that link, Matto? Yeah, that is a ripper, that thing. Yeah, Michael, I kid you not. So I can't remember at what stage you saw the engine in when you were over, but I had it dialed. I drove it on Easter Friday, whatever Easter Friday's called, and I had a slight hesitation. It was intermittent too. Like, it was so intermittent that it was almost livable. Like, I could have just gone, stuff it, I'll live with it. I better chuck the battery charger on this thing. But because I knew the cause of it and I was confident in my ability to fix it, I pulled the Carby off, made the adjustments to the idle transfer slots on the primaries and the secondary bowls here, put the car back on, and it drove good. Like, I didn't film it, and I've stopped filming all these preliminary test drives because I've just got so much footage of me going around the block waiting for the car to warm up, and then 5 minutes of going, yeah, okay, the stumble's still there, let's go back to the garage. It's just a waste of memory. So I didn't bother taking the camera out. I thought I'll just go around the block, see if it's okay. Then we'll do a drive and go through the motions. But yeah, got stranded, got stuck. But geez, those were some glorious. That was a glorious 10 minutes. No worries, Blamey. Enjoy your evening, mate. Thanks for staying around. And yeah, we'll see you in the comments, mate. And if we see you again, shout us, yell at us from the street, and I'll recognise you. Cheers. If anyone else is in the anyone else is watching who wants to say g'day, jump on, write us a comment. You can chat about anything. Talk about your favourite car. What are you driving now? What do you want to drive? What do you think's underrated, overrated? Anything at all. And yeah, by doing so, you're making this task, which is a bit of a pain. So I thought I was done having this Carby apart, and every time I pull it apart, there's a chance something else goes wrong, which is why I don't like taking it apart anymore anyway. But yeah, chuck us a comment. There we go, you go in there. Ooh, that one looks a bit crusty, doesn't it? We'll pretend that's okay. It's not like that. Do I rate that grog? Yeah, it goes alright. Like, it's easy to drink, but you got to drink it cold. My theory with any it's a little bent. Hang on a second. With any of these crisp Australian beers, they've got to be cold. If they're not cold, they can be rather disappointing. Well, okay, yeah, looks okay. I don't think I've got anything that can clean this thread up either. Because these are... Let's have a look at our Oh, thanks, Matto. Oh, you found it. You put in the comments. Yeah, you beauty. Man, it was. Okay, now we're getting serious. Tapping dies out. Yeah, any of these crisp beers, you've got to drink them quickly whilst they're properly cold. Because once they're a little bit not cold, like that's probably on the edge of being unacceptable, I reckon, at the moment. But I'll quickly just knock it over. Yeah, they go down good. They're supposed to be low carb and low calories, so you can drink more of them and not put your gut on. But you can also just wear elastic pants, so there's that. Just saying. I bet that this will be some weird thread that's only on a holy carb, like everything else I've done. Just want to see. Oh yeah, 24. 24, that looks good. So what have I got that's 24 up here? 13, 18, 12, 24, 10, 24. So it should be 12, 24 to 10, 24. 10, 24. That's too small. Where's the 10, 24? It's the 12, 24, yeah. Start this side. Oh, maybe I'll be alright. Hey, what do you know? I might actually just clean the threads up. Does that look right? Let's get the verniers. Okay, let's not worry about the verniers because I know the freaking things are. I'll tell you what about. I need my Carby box. Let's go get me Carby box. Box of shit that has all my Carby stuff is in here. Yeah. Oh, I've got stuff everywhere now. I've got lots of bench space, but no space on my bench. Can I? That light is wasting battery. Although it looks good behind me, I'll leave it there. Let's use the GT. Here we go. Thread repair kit. So I know the threads. Does it tell me on that one? $12.24. $12.24. That's right. So $12.24 is. That's my helicoil. That's bigger than the helicoil. What was it $12.24 or $10.24? Let's not guess. And just bloody go back over here. Who's still watching this stuff? If you like this, give it a like on your way out. If you're still here. And thank you for joining. Is anyone else still here? SMP, what grog do you rate? If you're still there, mate, tell me what's on the top of your list for grog that's reasonable. 12.24. Oh, of course that fits because it goes through the hole. If I don't, if I stuff this up, I've got to get a bloody... You see, it goes through. Yeah, bugger it. Let's go and do some thread cleaning up. Or shall we actually Google it? Let's Google it. Come and look at me for a second. You're a whiskey drinker. Yeah. A Renaissance man. No, I'll rate it. I started my piss drinking career drinking whiskey, but I know the exact moment. If I go Holly, fuel bowl, what do I call it? Screw, thread, size 12.24. We're gonna clean some threads. I started my career drinking whiskey. I liked Johnny Walker Black, and I liked Jameson, and I liked Shivers. I liked all sorts of bloody whiskies. I'd even go, because I still work in the city, work from home a lot now though, but I used to go to all these like fancy ass whiskey bars and shit when I was a young suit wearing flog. I don't wear suits anymore. I'm not young, but I'm still a flog. But I know the exact time and date I stopped being a full-time whiskey drinker and converted to drinking beers. It was 2008. Story time, folks. 2008, it was Hawthorn Geelong playing grand final, and I was cooking a barbecue. It was a hot day, and I don't really day drink, but I was having a couple during the day, but it was hot, and I was cooking the barbecue, and I was sipping, I can't remember what it was, but it was Scotch on ice, and I was like, this just doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel right. I went and got one of the old man's Coronas, and I've gone, yeah, okay, I get it. I see the appeal. But if you're a whiskey drinker, actually, hold that thought, because I want to ask you a question. Just get prepared over here. How much battery have I got? Doesn't tell me. When you're streaming, hey Chandy, if you're still there, mate, make sure you got a battery pack when you're streaming, because it doesn't tell you if you're streaming how much battery you've got left on this phone anyway. Stuff it, we'll go 2 minutes without a battery. Okay. If you're a whiskey drinker, Mr. SMP, I suggest you have a crack at making a rusty nail. If you don't know what a rusty nail is, it is I suppose it's a cocktail. And it's a shot of, port one. I suppose that's more, not port one I'm excited about, it's more like Essendon lost. Oh, come on! Oh, there we go. I just chucked the three, so you got the 3 holes there. I just put it through like this. And I thought, fuck you. No, we're okay. Yeah, so a rusty nail is a shot of Drambuie and a shot of a cheap whiskey. So you can use, if you've got like a bottle of Johnny Red at home or something like that, and you don't necessarily want to drink your Johnny Walker Red, you can get yourself a bottle of Drambuie, chuck it in with a shot of Johnny Red, and chuck a slice of orange in there, like a bit of orange peel, and some ice. The idea is the Drambuie takes the harshness out of the rough scotch that you've got, adds a bit of sweetness, and it gives you a very, very nice whiskey-based sort of cocktail. I started drinking them when I was a whiskey drinker, and a couple of work drinks. Got a couple of boys onto them, and what ends up happening is that because it's easy to drink, because that Drambuie knocks all the harshness out of the scotch, you just knock them back, and you knock them back, and you knock them back, and you go, these are fantastic. So your mate has a beer, and you have a rusty nail, and then your mate has a beer, then you have a rusty nail. But his 2 beers is like this much alcohol, and you've just had this much in the same amount, so you get absolutely hammered very quickly, and you don't need to go to the dunny because you're only having a small amount of alcohol. You've had a few, not bad. There you go. So what's your, give me a whiskey. What's your favourite? What's your go-to? Look at that. Ah, you see there? It's starting to bite. That's where we know the threads are a bit on the nose, but it's okay. We'll cut through, clean them up. Back it off a little bit. Give it a spray. Who else is there, folks? Anyone else want to chime in with their favourite drink? SMP, you haven't told me what you drive, mate, or what your vehicle of choice is. And if you have, I apologise. I'm trying to keep track of everyone's, like why you're here, basically. You're watching a guy do car stuff. You're bound to be into cars somewhat, or have a car yourself. That's pretty cool. Maddo, if you're still there, mate, I suggest you look at Michael as well. Michael, Beat Traveller. Michael makes excellent videos, and he should be having, not to put the pressure on, but you should have a pretty good Cambodia video out, or videos out in the next little while. I really can't wait to see how you pull that together. Looks all right now. Glenmorangie. I think I've had a couple of bottles of those. Big green bottle, isn't it? Original 10-year-old. Yeah, nice. Chandy, you've been getting into more honey whiskey. Is that more like the Japanese style ones that they do, Chandy? I like the idea. Like I have what your dad's got. Oh, you got a GT. Nice. Very nice. Yeah, Chandy, they those Japanese ones. That doesn't look straight. Oh, twirl it. Does that look straight? Straight enough. I'm calling it. Where was the other one I just cleaned? I just cleaned one up. I've got one in the bowl. 1, 2, it's got to be this one. No, it's not clean. Yeah, that's got shit in it. So if you guys weren't here watching me, this is what I'm like. I put something down, I can't find it 2 seconds later. And this is why it takes 6 months to edit a video, because I've filmed all of this stuff, and then it takes me 10 weeks to edit out all the, you know, where the fuck's my screwdriver? Or I've dropped this and that's happened, or I've broken one of these and I have to wait a week to order one because no one's got one. A bit of WD-40, all-purpose lubrication. What's the time? It's 11 o'clock. Bloody hell. It's okay. Yeah, they're not too bad. They're grabbing a little bit, so the threads are a little bit shitty. It's all right. Is it Johnny Walker with honey now, is there, Matto? I think I had one with sherry. Actually, Wild Turkey does honey whiskey. Oh, God, look at it. Yeah, nice. Celtic Cone, jeez. We're all going to learn about Carbies and get on the terps after this. SMP, if you're a man about your fine whiskies, have you ever seen these things called oak bottles? They're like, fucking hell. They're okay. They're like a wine bottle-sized bottle that's oak. And the idea is that you can buy a shit wine or a whiskey, put it in the oak bottle, let it go for a day, 2 days, 3 days, 4 days, and then you drink it, and it's got like a completely different flavour. I got one from a mate from work. It's got a crack in it now. I can't get the thing to bloody seal up again, so I'll have to invest in another one. But when we used it, oh, it turned some red wines into some really nice red wines, and it made some whiskey. I tried it with shit whiskey, and it just, I don't know how it does it, but the oak bottle gave the drink whatever it needed to give it, aged it, made it less harsh. Whatever it did, it made it taste fantastic. I think you can get them from Dan Murphy's. I could just Google it. Oak bottle. Oak bottle? Yeah, the oak bottle. $130. They look like this. Hang on, I'll show you what they look like. Sort of like this. Whoop. This sort of thing here. 335 mil. 355 mil. That's nothing. That's tiny. Anyway, you can get one that's like a litre. And you put it in there for a bit, and yeah, it just makes your alcohol taste amazing. So it's just like a rusty nail. How, actually, speaking of which, let's go to the fridge. Let's get another refreshment. How the idea was to take the cheap whiskey and make it nicer by adding the Drambuie. Yeah, the oak bottle makes your shit stuff. Yeah, I thought so. Yeah, that one looked tiny. That wouldn't fit a beer in it. What am I going to have? I'll have a Bluey. You ever had a Bluey? I think they're a Woolies beer, but they're easy to drink and they're always on special. And that's what I'm about. A little bit more flavour than a Great Northern. But you generally find them they're a bit cheaper. And when you've got cars that drink petrol like mine, you're always looking for ways to save a bit. Okay. I vaguely remember these go to. So I'm just catching up on these. What are you talking about, man? I vaguely remember New Year's. Oh my gosh. Okay, from your honey whisk bottles. Yeah, righto. Vaguely remember. Right, yeah, that makes sense after that. What's going on here? I'm just going to refresh this page just so I can read your comments. That looks better. All right, let's get back to where these fucking bolts. All right, we've got the clean threads now. These should go in like butter. Let's come back over here. I'll shift it over in a sec. How are we enjoying this? Is there anyone enjoying? I suppose you're still here. Oh, you be careful there. Get back down here. Okay. I don't need this anymore. Let me just make some room, folks. This is also, what's this, 1224? That goes there then. What's missing? I had one out, this one. You go there. You go here. This has to be one of the best investments I've made in my shed tool, like repertoire, whatever you want to call it. Oh, what's that? So close. Yeah, so this tap and die set, I bought this because I threaded bolts on my bump stops, I think. And it was 60 bucks for a bump stop or 130 bucks for a tap and die set. And I bought the tools because I thought it'd be more fun. But they have become one of the best investments I've made in the toolkit, having a tap and die set, because the amount of times it's got me out of trouble. Yeah, I've lost count. Oh, look how nice that goes in now. I'll just get the bloody accelerator pump in the right spot. Come on. Go. So yeah, tap and die set, folks. Yep, go in there. Oh, come on! I cleaned you up. There we go. No, we don't. Oh, up yours. Let's do the other ones up first. Gently, gently. So you going nice. It's just this top one. Unless it's absolutely bang on, it doesn't want to know about it. Just try and manipulate it a little bit. Okay, come on. Take a breath. Give it a little wiggle. Ah, what about there? Nope. We're going to try a little bit of force. No, I'm not going to take the hose off. Like I said, this hose caused me so much grief the first time I had it off. Now that it's on and it doesn't leak, it can stay on. There we go. Minor persuasion it needed. I just hope I haven't... Oh, that's okay. That's going to be just fine. I think that'll be just fine. Yeah, they're all going in at about the same sort of level of... that one's a bit nice. That one's a bit easier. They're all going in a bit. It's all right. As long as they go up, get done up. It's okay if I freak one up. I've got this helicoil repair kit and I've still got a million helicoils left. And I know exactly how to do it because I've done it so many times already. And I know how to blow out the Well, I know how I need to clean out the fuel bowls correctly before I do it. So we're just going to do them up finger tight like that. No need to go over tight because that's how you create leaks. That's how you thread your fuel bowl, your main body's threads, and that is how you warp the carby as well, apparently. So I've been a naughty boy with all of this stuff. I've done all the wrong things. One. I really should get an inch-pound torque wrench to show me how much force I've applied to these. Yeah, I must have gone way overboard. This one. You saying, Matto? I thought you were on my side, Matto. Come on. So much for bloody... It's easy to gang up on me. There's more of you and there's only one of me. That's that side done. So this is how gently I'm doing it. Just very gently. Very gently. We are reassembled. Take it up like this. Yeah. Front rear fuel. Column accelerator pumps are working. Front one's fine on this side. Mate, we're looking good. 3 hours in, we've got the thing going. Did I? Don't shit me. If you're shitting me, I'm gonna... There was one gasket that was already on one of the bolts that came off when I took it off a second time. There's one in there. There's one in there. You're gonna make me undo them, aren't you? One, that's got one. That's got one. I've got these gaskets coming out of my ass too, so if I've lost one, it doesn't bother me. Those things I've got millions of. That one's got one. Yep, double checked, we're all good. Primary bowl, we are go. We're supposed to do it in crisscross. 1, 2, 3, 4. The secondaries. I can see that one. I can see that one. I can see that one. I can't see this one. Maybe you're onto something. No, there it is. No, we are good. Right, well, the carby is clean. It's done. Thanks, SMP. I don't know if you were taking the piss there, but I'll take that as you care. That's how I'm going to take it, and I can take it however I like it. But yeah, I'll take that as you care, and you're just checking. So appreciate the concern, but we are all gasketed up. Let's just chuck it. Might as well chuck it back on a car. Why not? I'll just get it all hooked up. I can't fire it up now because I don't want to wake my child, and I don't want those dogs behind me to go off. I have done it before. I have done a fire up late. But yeah, I feel a bit cheeky. I think I'll take the piss a little bit by just having this car in general, so we won't do that. But yeah, let me just have a couple of swigs at this. And we'll get ready to put this back on the car. But in the meantime, let's go have a look at the engine bay. I'll tell you all the other things that are wrong in here. So look, I probably didn't. If you've been following the Meatball Garage Facebook and Instagram, if you don't, go follow them. Everyone's got a bloody thing these days, so you can go and have a look. I thought I had a vacuum leak. I probably didn't have a vacuum leak. I probably had some shit stuck in a carb. Or maybe I did. I don't know. I don't know. That was 3 weeks ago problem anyway. But yeah, I made the base of the Carby flat by using this knife block here. Got it down, looking nice and flat. Got the gasket, the mother of all MOAG, the mother of all gaskets, the MOAGs on there, because I thought the other little paper gasket might have been a bit too skimpy. Once this is all going, I really want to clean up these bloody vacuum lines. So I've got this front one here feeding the brakes. The PCV's going to the Carby, and then the one at the back's feeding the transmission. I reckon I could plug this and get one of those dual output things for this bit. You can't see this bit. And that'll feed my transmission and my brakes, and it'll eliminate this line here. My fuel hose is a bit of a disaster. I'm running, what do you call that? This is the GT fuel line. Actually, does this thing even have one? Let's get the light. I see why. So there it is there, running from down there, and it runs to the passenger side, and it feeds in through there, whereas mine feeds in through the driver's side. That's why it's a friggin' mess. This thing, I hate looking at this thing. It's just done so well. Everything's in the right spot. It's just a bit dusty. Anyway, stop looking at that. Look at your own bucket of shit. Yeah, I've got to do something about this, because I don't like the way the fuel filter. I want the fuel filter a bit more down here, so I might have to sacrifice some of this pipe, run more fuel hose, run a filter here, and then run the hose to the Carby like that. I think that'll just neaten it up a little bit. And my vac advance, where's my vac advance? Yeah, I need to cut this down. I put that on. How's this? Last time I had it tuned, which was many years ago now, the bloke said the vac advance didn't work. I took their word for it. It works. It works good. My gosh, that was an amazing day when I've worked out, hey, this thing actually works. Put it on and, drivability went through the roof. It's magnificent. What's going on over here? Not much. We've got 8 on. Thanks for sticking around. Who's been here? How long have you been watching this for? I'm curious, because I'm sure we've had people drop in and off. Come up with the filter between the inlet and the pump. Yeah, that's where I'll put it. It'll be, as in, down here. No, because I've got this bloody barb adapter. I'm going half inch into 3/8, and I've got fuck all room down there. There's my light. I had the light. Did you see where I put the light? Here it is. There we go. Yeah, I don't have much room down there for it. I thought about it, but the answer's no, because I just can't get it to work. I've never understood the correct place to put a fuel filter, though. There's people that say you've got to put it before the pump. People that say you've got to put it after pump. Some people don't run a fuel filter at all. Yeah, like I was saying a couple of hours ago now, I watched the Carnage, Street Machine Carnage, when Scotty went to Chrysler on the Murray, and he pulled apart his Edelbrock Carby, and geez, I thought I had a bit of crappy mind. I had heaps of shit in that. And he said, I better just run a fuel filter. I've never run a fuel filter. I'm like, okay. So there must be people that don't run them. But yeah, I just want it to be neat. Actually, where does the GT run its one? So we haven't touched this. In terms of stuff that's happened to this car, it's basically been bought and that's it. So, yeah, there's not one here. So that's the inlet to the fuel pump down there. So where's the fuel filter? Has this got a fuel filter on it? I can't see one. It might not have a fuel filter. You're kidding. Just as I was bagging out, why wouldn't you have a fuel filter? Well, I'll have to ask the old man if he wants to run one. That is bizarre. In this thing, absolutely. Look at the room. Get that light go down there like that. That'll do. Ah, that's horrible. How about like that? Yeah, there's plenty of room on this one. I could just cut it here and then run something pretty simple. That hose is rock hard. Ooh. That is rock hard. I reckon I'll have to get a new bit of hose there. I reckon once I cut that, that'll disintegrate. Yeah, that'll be pretty easy to run because there's plenty of room there. I want to get this air conditioning working. That'd be magnificent. Actually, I can't remember who was saying it earlier. I can have a look, but it'll take me 10 minutes to scroll through. But someone would put fuel injection on their car and it cost them $4,500. I would rather spend $4,500 on air conditioning. I would 100% wuss out and put aircon in my XW. It just means on any day that's over 30 degrees, I could drive it and not worry about sticking to the seat. It's on the Carby, as in the filter's on the Carby. Come on, let's go back. You've got me intrigued now. Let's set up shop in the GT's engine bay. Just don't tell anyone I've been playing in here. I'll open this. I'll grab the light. I'll transfer the light. I can't be as rough on this because its paint is magnificent. Just got to be careful. I might just plug it in soon. Oh, yes. Yeah, let's have a look. It literally just goes from the line. Are you saying that's as a filter there? You're saying? I don't know. What's this thing? This is a vacuum secondary 600 and something. Yeah, you saying that's like? Do I take that out and there's something in there? I've never seen that. Or is that just where the bloody... That'd be your needle and seat there. So... No. It is! Fair income! Well, bugger me! Learned something! Well, okay. Don't worry about cutting the fuel line up then, because it's in there. Ah, okay. I'll have to change that at some point. I think the last tank of fuel is in that, because that's got the Bathurst tank. It's probably about 4 years old. I have siphoned a bit of juice out of it to put in this one a couple of times because we just don't use it. And I'd rather have the fuel be used than go off. Anyway, let's button the Carby up on this. I'll move everything back to here. And we'll just chuck the Carby on. And maybe I'll put the plugs back in as well. I could be wrong, but I'm sure there is a mesh in there. Ah, I see. This is why I like these things, because you learn something straight away. You don't have to wait 2 weeks. Go, plenty of light. Can you see that okay? 5 minutes only. You know what I didn't do? I don't know if this is good practice or not, but I didn't actually check the needle and seat and see if there's any crap in there. Where did all my gaskets go? Oh, there it is. Far out. Yeah, fair call. I think, to be honest, that, I mean, once my car's running, I can actually turn my attention to the one that hasn't run for a long time and do all those little things. What I should do is just blow some shit through here. I just thought, what's the chance that there's some crap stuck in here from shipping or whatnot? But I'll just eliminate that possibility by doing that now. Someone behind me here is playing some country and western music, it sounds like. Good on them. Right. Let's chuck it on. If you're still there, thanks for hanging about. You've actually made this a relatively fun night. And I've been able to do some... And then if you're watching this tomorrow, thanks for tuning in and watching this. This is sort of uncut. This is how long it takes to do this sort of shit. I mean, it's nice and easy watching a bloody 20-minute video. But if you take your time and talk shit with your mates on the internet, that's what happens. Okay. You know what I meant to. Just gave it another hit with some more Carby cleaner. Why? Because, okay. Go on like so. Okay. One, two, three, four. So I'm just over here. Finger tight, finger tight. This is something else that I've ballsed up of late, is just over tightening stuff on the Carby. I have purchased over summer, whilst I still had a mate that worked at Bunnings, some tools, and I got too enthusiastic, particularly with this thing. this thing's actually got a fair amount of torque to it. I've already ripped out a stud from my radiator bracket. I mean, it's a handy tool, don't get me wrong. But just not for putting Carbys on, because yeah, it's very easy to over torque this stuff. And I just think I got carried away because like when you buy something new, you want to use it, and I wanted to use it for everything. And I did. That's why I'm in the predicament today. So I'm trying to do the root cause analysis of why I'm in this position. If I didn't own that tool, I wouldn't have over tightened the Carby, I wouldn't have warped it, created a vacuum leak, had to take the fuel bowls on and off a million times to rejet. Nah, maybe I would have. I don't know. It's very hard. It's easy to do root cause analysis on other stuff, but not on yourself. It's too subjective. You go there. You go here. I'll stretch you over like that. And we have throttle hooked up. We're getting there. I'll come around here. You can sit this side now. What do I need over here? This stupid. Yeah, I'm not going to make this shorter now. I'll do it when I clean up everything else in the engine bay. Because that'll be a video I'll make. That 300 people might watch it in 10 years. What else is missing? This. Oh yeah, look, these side screws. I need a gasket for that, remind me. If I watch this back, I don't know if I'll bother watching this back. Oh, I might have to actually. If I stuff something up and I have to go check what I did, I'll have to. But remote note to self, go get yourself another side gasket. Go. On, magnifique. Appreciate your viewership, folks. I really do. I think more than anything I get that it's a Friday night nearing, what's the time? Nearing midnight, and you're watching me wrench on my shitbox. These don't need to be tight either. One, two. Three. Four. That will do it. I'm reluctant to do any more. And PCV, PCV, PCV. Ah, come on. It's got a rib on it, that's why. Oh, come on, just... I found it! Hey! I found my only... Check this out! Wait for it. That's my other bloody sidewall gasket. Oh, how good's that? Let's see, is it? Oh, the shoe fits. Mate. So maybe I only lost it last week or the week before, not 10 years ago. Oh, that's classic. Oh, okay, you can all go together. Thanks, SMP. Thanks for all the shit. Thanks for the encouragement. I still haven't got this last bit on. There it is. Okay. That is over. No, it's not. Oh, come on. It's always the last bit that's a pain in the ass. This is under vacuum, so it doesn't need to be on there like it's going out of fashion. No worries, Chandy. Thanks for sticking around, mate. I'll chat to you soon. Enjoy Adelaide whilst it's going off. If I have to take this whole thing off again, because I can't get the PCB. Ah, yeah. Okay. We're done. We are done. Okay, I'm calling that done. In terms of the Carby, we've got 7 still watching. Let's do a roll call. If you haven't said anything yet, 6 still watching. If you haven't said anything yet, say, give us a g'day. Or at least make sure you give the video a thumbs up. If I could give you a thumbs up, I would, for coming out here and watching this. I might, whilst I'm out here and still awake, might just put my plugs back in, because I can do it without a toddler at my feet asking what's going on. So I might just do that. But before that, I might just take a break for a second. I've had someone else join. We've had a couple of people more join. How are you going? Say g'day if you're new in the comments, in the chat. We have just to catch you up, if you give a shit, there's me GoPro. We have just put the Carby back on the car. It's all buttoned down. We have had it all apart. I've given everything a clean. It's got a new needle and seat, the primaries. I've got the front idle adjusted properly. The transfer slots are good. And I've got these new sight glass, what do you call them? Float level sight glass things on. So when I fire it up tomorrow, which I won't be able to do it tonight, I can check the float level nice and easy without bloody spilling juice everywhere. The last thing I've got to do is just put the plugs back in. I've had them here in the petrol, soaking for a long time, and I've given them a clean with a wire brush. Now, I have actually got fresh spark plugs. I've actually got 2 lots of fresh spark plugs and one of these bullshit things here, which you can gap in, but I'm not going to use them. I'm not going to waste $30 worth of plugs just to get the thing fired up and running. Oh, my back's bloody knackered. Because really, what could happen is you could run for 5 minutes, run like shit, and foul them up again. So I know these will work. I'll just get the thing running with these in it, and then I'll put the fresh plugs in. And then after that, so I tell you my grand plans is I'll film one more video about how the car drives. and then take a reading from the plugs. And if the plugs look good, then I'm done. Then I'll actually have enough footage to do a video about how this Carby broke me, basically. Absolutely broke me in terms of pushed me to my limits of enjoyment when it comes to having a hobby car. I've only got top chat displayed, so if you're in live chat, I've probably missed a few people, so I apologise. I know live chat sometimes doesn't give you everything. But anyway, I'm still here. I'm in the chat if you want to say g'day. So yeah, so that's my theory of why I'm putting in just cleaned plugs in rather than freshies. So yeah, once it's going, then we'll put the freshies in. And I reckon they'll look good. I reckon my set before these changes that I've made, it ran really lean. Probably a bit too lean. And what I described, or how I described the throttle response and everything to a couple of mates, how it was super crisp. I think crisp means really lean, apparently. So, yeah, we'll just do that. Might as well chuck these in. I'm just having a quick break. But yeah, if you've just joined, jump in the chat, say g'day. We're just hanging out here in the shed, pretty much. I'm having a couple of these. Might just chuck some of these tools away as well. Put some of these in places where they're not going to bloody fly away. Be a temporary tray until I get my permanent tray, my Carby tray over. So I'll grab that. Stay there. I'm just going to grab my tray of stuff. Trying to be somewhat organised. Yeah, have a look at my old, this is how it used to run all the time. Just would foul things until the cows would come home. Where am I going to put those things? I'm running out of bloody compartments. Need on the seat, sight plugs, actually, you can all go into this bit. Sight plugs and assorted gaskets can go into one spot. Over here, sorry, I'm not on camera. Put them in this little bag. Talking shit. It's pretty much what I think I'll try to do that for a living, Matto. If they pay me for it, I reckon I'll be good at it. Right, you can go like that, close you up, slide you over in. Now I need my spark plug. And look, I'm taking my time here as well because I know that by this stage, my wife and child will be asleep. And that means I can take my time. It's very rare that I can be out here with no urgency to go back inside, so. So if you're finding the pace lacking a little bit, I'm not going to apologise because this is an absolute luxury for me to be able to do this right now. Clean up. One. Oh, it's going to be good for the skin. Two. If you're watching and you run spark plugs, I've been told a few times by a few people that these are the ones to run, sort of mild engine. This is a BP6 FS from NGK. Always been tempted to run the BP5FS because they're a bit hotter. Thinking it might clean up the plug a little bit because they burn a little bit hotter or retain heat better, whatever the meaning is. But I'll stick with the 6s. Yeah. That's the people behind me. You're still watching, Matto. Thank you. There's people out the back. I think there's some young people. So this shed backs onto like next door. The back of my block here. I wonder what they're thinking. There's a guide here talking to no one. Little do they know. Little talking to pretty cool people. And you. Oh, beauty, you're still around. Awesome. This is it. This is the monotonous stuff, isn't it? There's a bloke out there too. Oh. It's 11:55. You can still make noise. I'm not making noise. I'm just talking. This is talking volume. All right. Hey, what I might do now, so all those plugs are clean. I'm going to use this surplus petrol. And look how shame. Like I just put them in there because I needed somewhere to store like a whole petrol when it pissed out of the Carby. Look what it's done to my little bucket. It's completely rooted it. Anyway, let's clean all these other ones up. Just let it soak. Just in case I need spare ones. I'm reluctant to throw them out. I really should just bin them because I've now got 16 fresh plugs. The Clevo King suggested I burn these with a butane torch. My butane torch has since shit itself. Otherwise, I would do that. Can't leave initially. You watching the chase, Matto? Oh, the chase. Oh, sorry, the chase. That bloody car thing. Yeah, righto. Nicely done. Yeah, you know that's the thing. Like, I bought big memory cards for these things because the amount of times that I turn it off and something just happens, like literally when I'll come back up here for a sec. When the car ran good, about 4 weeks ago, I'm going to call it, the car was running good and I drove it and all it did, it had a tiny hesitation, I think. I actually can't remember where I was up to, if I had the jets and the power valve all sorted or whatnot, but it was running good and I think I've sorted this. Turned the camera off and then on the way home it started to shit itself. And I thought I should have just left it on. It was literally 7 minutes after I turned the camera off. I leaned back, I went, turned it off. Because my son was asleep as well. He came for a cruise with me and he fell asleep. I think the fumes and the heat put him to sleep and then all of a sudden all hell broke loose. So yeah, I keep missing stuff. Anyway, give me a sec. Let's set ourselves back up over at the vehicle and put some plugs in. You can tell me what I'm doing wrong. Still got people coming and going, which is pretty cool. Actually, I'll do it opposite sides because otherwise I'm going to get in your way. 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't know which is the worst side in the Cleveland. Actually, another thing I want to clean up in here is these heater hoses. I want these heater hoses to run that way and along the valley in here, because they're just, again, it's just in the way here. I'll tell you a quick story. I went and saw a reputable, I'll call them a very well-known and incredibly reputable mechanical workshop that puts out some amazing cars, and they seem to have a knack for doing old Falcons and Clevelands as well as new Falcons and stuff. And when I opened the engine bay, you want to have a look at what I had in the car, and you look at the lifters, and you have a look at all the others. You look at this, goes, mate, there's stuff fucking everywhere in this thing. I'm like, what do you mean? And then I've since seen what their shop puts out. I completely understand what he said, because yeah, heater hose, the vacuum hoses, this bloody vacuum advance hose, the way the fuel filter, it's all wrong. But my goal is just to get the thing running and running good, and then I'll make it look pretty. What I say before, don't get it right, just get it running. I haven't sliced my hand open on a gasket yet. Could change in a minute. Alright, that's that bank done. Well, snubbed up anyway. Still got 8 people on watching. Also, I want these heater hoses out of the way when I take plugs in and out. It's a bastard of a thing. There we go. Oh, shit. Come on. I hate this bit. Go. Right, one's done. Two. 3. 4. Right. Whoa, we're halfway there. Okay. Still 6 of you there. Good on yous. Just setting the scene. I'm going to just put these plugs in, put the wires on, and then I'll finish my beer. Once I've finished my beer, I'll piss this off. Okay. this side. Righto. Okay. Which there's always I get lost. Okay, there. Yeah, beautiful. Oh, come on. It's going around in circles, not going anywhere. This is the worst one. I can't really get the angle of the dangle. Oh, no, there we go. Yeah, we're in now, I think. Yes. Yes. One more. Tighten up. Oh, I thread it. It's one thing I don't want to thread is a bloody hole in the head. Fuck yeah. Where is it? Yeah. That's it. There we go. Cool. Let's tighten it up. Oh, so close now. XA Hardtop, how you going? Jesus, you've been here for ages, mate. Hope this has been enjoyable for you Friday night, now Saturday morning. Do you know what I find fascinating as well? Is that sometimes I hate doing this sort of stuff. Like, there becomes a point where, especially like what's happened here, like I've basically got to so close for this thing to being so good. And when you're working on something and you're seeing results, like positive results, it's really motivating. But when all you do is fix stuff-ups and problems, and you spend time on your car basically just to keep it running, it's demotivating. Yet, I'll end up watching, in my spare time, other people work on cars, solve problems, just because, you know, this isn't enough in real life. Last one. Come on. Not enough, not enough. Yep, perfect. And tight as well. Petro, champion. All right, I'm just going to come back over here for a sec. We'll come this way. Hang on. There we go. Petro, fellow XY owner, nice. This is an XW, close enough. Same body, same everything apart from the bloody lights. Oh yeah, those. Like I look at the Windsor engine bay in the GT. Oh, it looks luxurious. There's so much room between the towers with the Windsor. You know what else? When you put an LS1 in these things, there's lots of room in there as well. Actually, I think you need to do a something to the shock towers to modify them. Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, yeah, I know what you mean. Something, just something to give a little bit more room. That's why I want to piss those heater hoses off on that side, and just make everything run. Just any little wins I can get. But again, having said all that, if TIG runs good, I won't foul plugs and I won't need to change my spark plugs all the time. So hopefully all the things I'm doing is going to make it get to where it needs to be and I won't have to pull them out every 5 bloody minutes. Oh, you had a couple of quiet ones. Mr. XA Hardtop. What have you been drinking? I'm on the blueies after the better beers. This is a crisp beer. It's a Woolies special, I think. And they go all right. But you got to drink them cold. If you drink them hot, they're shit house. Or not freezing cold, they're absolutely shit house. How long's this one been going for? Doesn't say. 166 minutes, jeez. And that's on top of the hour I did before. So I've been streaming all night. Christ. So you've been in here for a long time, Mr. XA Hardtop, 351. I'm assuming you do have an XA Hardtop with a 351 in there. Just from your handle. Petro, tell us about your car, mate. What's apart from the Clevo in there? Is it a Fairmont? Is it a GT? Is it a mock-up? Is it a Felt 500 auto manual? Give us some specs. I'm just going to have a couple of quiet sips. Reese's Pilsner. Reese's. Is that a where the bloody hell is that from? Reese's. That sounds like a beer enthusiast beer, like someone that's really into beer. Something you wouldn't just pick up at the, what do you call it? At the Woolies bottle-o or the Coles bottle-o. Nice. I like people that are enthusiastic about things that they're enthusiastic about, if that makes sense. You got a heat soak issue. Also, a ball joint gave up a year ago. I haven't touched it. Oh, what a bastard. The stock 6 through to 6. Yeah, okay, nice. Fairmont in. Fairmont means you got all the nice bits inside. Nice trim, nice door cards. Doesn't take much to put a nice dash in there. It's a New South Wales beer. It sounds a lot more fancy than a New South Wales beer. Reaches. I was thinking some sort of European mob. But we do a lot of beer here now. It's a lot of beer here now. Yeah, Petro, mate. That's nice. And if it's still a Fairmont, it's thumbs up for me. I like a bloke that keeps their car true to itself. If you want to make it a GT, make it a GT, but make it a GT. Don't stop halfway. I was saying earlier on, I just can't stand half-done GT mock-ups. Like, do all of it. Save your money for all of it. Or don't do it at all. That is a auto. It's a C4. And it's got a, I think it's a 2800 or $3,000 converter in it. With a 9-inch and 3.5 gears in it. That is a manual. That thing's a top loader, Windsor. That wasn't originally an auto car. I call that an old man's GT because it was ordered in that colour, automatic with air conditioning. And it sits way too high. Like it needs to come down like 2 inches all around. So I always say it's a nice old man's car, old man's GT. Yeah, nice. Enjoy it as is. Yeah, perfect. And you'll probably find more people will go, oh, wow, a nice original car than, oh, is that a real GT or what? Cans are called silver bullets. Nice. I'm going to Google it. R-E-S-C-H-S. R-E-S-C-H-S. Pilsner. Look at that. Pilsner cans. I want to see a can. Images. Oh, yeah, nice one. 370 mil, are they? A nice big can. Yeah, I can see why they call it a silver bullet. And it's got the New South Wales map on it. That's something that I never see much anymore. You never see things with the state maps on it. Like the map of Australia or the map of your state. I like that. They've put it on there. Although the Tassie footy team's got a map of Tassie. Map of Tassie on their jumper. Yeah, good one. Petro, how long have you had your car for, mate? What was it? starting to get warm, which means I've got to get through the bloody thing. Jesus, Matto. Whew. That's a lot. Then again, I have a feeling that you'd be right at home putting them away, I reckon. Oh. Let's just put these plug wires back in. Whilst we're here. Having electrical issues. Splatters on. Right. Interesting. Did you get... Now, I'm not going to be able to see your comment. Oh, hang on. You've got some more stuff coming through. I'll read them in a sec. I'm just going to put these in. But yeah, eventually, mate, I want to do the same and get ice ignition on this thing. I like the idea that it's locally made and everyone with a Clevo swears by it. Absolutely swears by the ice stuff made in, I think it's Cheltenham. What box have you got? Have you got the 2-step or the 1-step, or just like one with a limiter? Oh, I can't get in there. You know, I'm going to wuss out and put gloves on. Don't judge me. I'll judge away, I don't care. It's just trying to get these plugs in without my hands being sliced up by these friggin' exhaust gaskets. It's just you're gonna hide into nothing. So what's your other issue, Petro? What else is giving you grief? How about I put the right cylinder, spark plug in the right cylinder. In one. This is, I'm sure, invigorating to watch. Just put it in there. I'll tighten it up a minute. I like to hear it snap in. If it doesn't snap in, I'm not confident. These are MSD leads. They've done okay. It's snapped in. This one needs to snap in. I've got to do it from that angle. Yep. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right. Come around here. Actually, stay over here. I'll extend you up and you can see what's going on here. One step, nice. I think that's what I want to get. I think there's some difference. I don't know, I'm not well versed on this, but there's some difference in the shaft diameter, I think, for, is it pre-XD, maybe? Clevo King would know. Aussie would know. There's a few blokes that would know, I reckon. But yeah, pre-XD, I think. The shaft diameters were different, and you can either mill them down or nothing at all. Why aren't you going there? What's going on here? In? Click. Come on. Oh, give me a break. There we go. Click in. Click in. That's That's what I want to hear, the click. The click gives me confidence that we have got good connection, which will mean good spark. Just rest these two in, so I'll come around the back here. Click and no click. Oh, there we go. It's that one where the friggin' shock tower is. I can never get good purchase on that bastard. We're good. Right. Oh, bugger me. Let's finish this beer, tidy up, and then we'll wrap this up in a minute. Excuse me. Petro. That's good endorsement for the ice ignition, mate. I like hearing all of that. I like hearing all that positive stuff. Yeah, that probably would have been. I don't think it's this. I don't think it's the. It's not the boot going over SMP. The boot goes over fine. I think it's where the. Like when you've gone through, yeah, like, and you've got to get the electrode on, like that bit there. Sometimes I just can't get it to click over, or it clicks over and I don't hear it. It's usually just those ones where the shock towers are that give me some grief. But I will try that next time. I do have I've got a big thing of silicone spray here, which bugger knows why I've got it, but I need to use it. So I will try that. Note to self, silicone spray. Oh, you got the chrome molds, mate. They are worth good money, those chrome molds. I've got some under the house. They look okay. I don't know if I should put them on or not, but I've seen. What colour's your car, Petro? I can't remember if you told me what colour it was. But on some colours, they look fantastic. They really do. But yeah, if it keeps coming off, that's a pain in the ass. You might have to get someone versed in panel beating to glue the bastard on. But it's like all these little, what they call eyebrows and stuff on these things. Like I think one of these, Nugget Gold, yeah, nice, I like it. I think one of these is held on by tape. Maybe it's this one. Maybe it's that one over there. But every now and again, it would start looking a little bit sad. But they both look fine now, and that's the main thing. But hey, look, another news. We've got a Carby on. We've got all the plugs in, and we've got all the leads on. We've got the fuel lines hooked up. We've got the accelerator linkage hooked up. Vac Advance hooked up. We just got to put the air filter on, which I won't do until I start the thing tomorrow. So we've achieved a fair bit. We've achieved a lot. And we've spoken a lot of shit. We've spoken 180. That's 3 hours of shit. That's a lot. And you guys have hung on for dear life in this live stream. So I really appreciate that. And anyone that's still watching this after it's been replayed, thank you for sticking it out. Because, yeah, it's just things like this which will end up being part of, I think, a bigger video. Sometimes it's not worth... I like to get jobs done, but at the same time, I'm very conscious. I want to give you guys some more things to to watch basically, and sometimes it's just not enough to make a separate video on, or it's going to be part of a longer video, which will be a 3-second thing. Mine mold the factory rivet and plastic clips. I need to replace the clips. Yeah, no, as long as you enjoyed it, thank you. No, thanks for hanging about. I knew someone would know. XA hardtop, early Cleveland's 13mm, later ones is 12.5. Yeah, it was something like that. Yeah. So I don't think MSD do. Maybe they don't do the earlier ones, perhaps, or maybe it's the later ones because they're a Yankee company. One way or the other, they're not in the business of Clevo. But yeah, I think you made the right decision by going ice anyway. Do you have what ignition have you got in yours? XA hardtop. If you've got ice, that'd be magnificent. Hey, if you've just joined, I'm about to wrap this up because I've been gone for 3 hours. I'm about to finish my beer, and we've achieved a lot tonight. We've done a lot, and we've still got a clean bench. That's remarkable. Like, look, check it out. Oh yeah, 10. Yeah, fair enough. Oh, there's the screen on the screen, just so I can see your comments. That's pretty lame. So even though it says 9 watching, that's probably -1 because I'm one of them. MSD. There you go. 6AL with a box, the whole kit and caboodle. MSD or ice. Ooh, I like ice. You don't need to change the timing light, I don't think, for ice. I think you need a different one for MSD because of a multiple spark under $3,000. That's what I've heard. I've only heard that. All right, last story, then I think we're done here, folks. But I bought an MSD distributor over 12 months ago now. The bloke I bought it from was from Facebook Marketplace. His ad said, been on my shelf, never opened it. I've gone a different way. He had a Torino, I think. And I had a look. And look, I've never bought stuff off Marketplace from interstate. It's usually only ever, 6A, nice one. It's only ever sort of local, so I can pick it up and pay cash. But this bloke seemed reasonable. He looked like he sold a lot of stuff, and his Facebook profile showed that he had a lot of cool cars and a lot of cool stuff for sale. So I've gone, he seems legit. Got the thing, got it home, opened it up, and it was a used Dizzy. It wasn't just a used Dizzy. It was missing the weights. It was missing the springs. It was missing like if you took the cap off, it had no weights or anything in there, no advanced weights or anything. And it was all corroded to the shit house too. So I rang him up and said, how many miles have you done on it? He goes, oh, none. I bought it, like my mate bought it from a shop, and then he sold it to me, and then it's set on my shelf, and I've gone stuff it, and he put a Petronics or something, like some original thing on his car. And I've gone, well, it's a used Dizzy, and he's just gone, oh, you're shitting me. And I sent him some pictures, and he was very embarrassed because I thought he'd try and stitch me up. But yeah, he was very embarrassed, and he sent me some money back. So I'm a bit burnt on MSDs because of that one story, which had nothing to do with the distributors, but the fact that, I could have had one, and I was this close to committing to one. Well, I had one here, and I had it apart, and I was ready to put in the car, and it was going to be a video. And in fact, I think in some videos you can even see it sitting on the shelf back there, sort of in its box. But yeah, after I opened it, oh geez, that was interesting. Anyway, folks, hey, thank you if you've just joined. But yeah, I'm about to drop off. We're going to wind this up. Time to go to bed. I've got to wash before I go to bed because I stick a petrol. But if you've been here at any stage during the evening, thank you very much. On your way out, make sure you hit subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. Make sure you like the video. And if there's any other videos you've watched of mine that you like, make sure you hit the like button. It helps out shitloads in making sure that that video gets to more people. And the other thing that helps out is if you share it. So if you're on any sort of Facebook groups or forums or anything like that that does Clevo stuff, and you think people get a kick out of it, just share it on there. You'll find, well, not you'll find, but I find that once a video is shared, they take off a lot more. And I get to speak to more people like you guys and get to learn a lot more stuff as well. That's the main thing here. I'm not trying to grow this channel to be a millionaire. I'm trying to just grow a community of people that will jump in and help each other out and talk a bit of shit. So more the merrier. Anyway, guys. Oh, Ben. See you, Beto. Oh, Ben, I'll answer your question. We're done. Am I? Asked about how'd you go with your fuel gauge? I've changed. Oh, see SMP. Ben, your sender. Actually, Ben, have you earthed it out? First question, have you earthed out your fuel gauge? So I've got a video on that. You can go check it out in one of the playlists. You basically just need a wire from your sender at the back, earth it to a part of your body, turn your ignition on, and if your fuel gauge goes to full, then it's not your fuel gauge. It's just sender. If your fuel gauge doesn't go all the way to fuel, it's your gauge, not your sender, if that makes sense. You have that. So what happened? Does it go all the way up to full? See you, Matto. See you, SMP. Otherwise, I've been told that it may have to be. Yep. Yeah, 100%. So I did that on mine. So if your gauge is fine, if you earthed out your gauge, it goes to full. So quick story, and then I really got to piss off. It's 12:30. When I filled mine up, it was only going to about halfway between a quarter and full, but it was pissing out of the tank, right, when I filled it up. I compared it to my old sender. So you know how they've got like a kink in them? One was kinked like that, and one was sort of kinked, you know, like at a different angle. You had the gauges count. Oh, no, Howard in Heidelberg. Yep. There you go. So the gauges will be good. So, yeah, I reckon you need to kick your sender. So when your sender is, you got to work out, say the float's here. I've got a float. Say the float's here on the wire, and it floats up like that. Say if it's like this, the point's here. Maybe you need to kink your sender up like that so it floats higher, if that makes sense. So your sender might be kinked like this. So you're not getting, when the petrol's here, you're not getting this part here where the transmitter bit, I don't know what it's called, but you know what I mean? The bit here that sends the electrical signal. So if you bend it like that, the fuel's up here, you're going to get a higher reading on your gauge because this bit's going to be further towards the full bit, if that makes sense. So I reckon take it out, give it a bend. But you're certain that it's full. If you're certain it's full, then yeah, I reckon you've got to give it a bend. Because I did the same on that. Because when I filled it up, it wasn't showing full. But now that it's showing full, it goes down from full to a quarter really quickly. And then at a quarter, I've still got like 30 litres left. But these are shit gauges. It's like, mind you, the only car that I've had that's had a really accurate gauge is the Benz, and that is like fucking bang on. Yeah, have a crack, man. It's just dicking around under your car and probably getting an armpit full of petrol. Petro does tank size, but yes, it does. I think the sender, you have to have a special sender for the Bathurst tank. So when I bought the 1/2-inch sender for this one, I bought the standard tank because mine's got a standard tank. The old man's GT's got the Bathurst tank. So you can get a different one. I don't know how much of a difference it makes to what you're reading, but if you want to be fair to him about it, I'd get the right one if you can. No worries, Ben. Thanks, mate. Thanks for jumping on. Thanks for the comment. Thanks for hanging around, mate. If you've got nothing to do for the rest of the night or over the weekend, there's like 4 hours of this stream there ready for you for your viewing pleasure, mate. So, but yeah, appreciate the comments and the support. And love the questions too. I love being able to help out. That's what we do this for, just to help each other out and figure shit out. So, cheers, mate. Appreciate it. Anyway, I'm calling it at 190 minutes for the third stream tonight. Cheers. I'll catch us all in the next video. Ciao.